Here we go. So this is Amertat, your wandering storyteller. And today, guess what? We're going to start a whole new story series. You guys ready?
Yeah.
I hope so, because we're going to take you now to a whole different place. We're going to go down to Guatemala, to a little fishing village, in a poor little village by the ocean. And in this little fishing village, there was a family. There was the daddy, the mommy, and 3 kids. 3 kids, right? And the 3 kids' names were twins, 2 boys, Jingle and Jangle, and then the sister, her name was Jenitta. So Jingle and Jangle and Jenitta, and the daddy was Pablo, and the mommy was Graciela.
I'm Jenitta.
You're Jenitta, are you? Wow, I hope so. Hi, everybody. We're just starting a new story for kids with no school, so sit back and enjoy. And so this little family, you might wonder, how did they get the name of Jingle and Jangle, right? How did 2 twins ever get such a funny name? Well, I'll tell you how. You see, excuse me, I didn't get my little thing here. When they were born, they lived on a little teeny farm next to the fishing village. And when they were born, there were some cow's bells outside, and there was a big windstorm blowing. And when they were out there, they heard... Can you hear that? That was going on while they were being born. And they said, well, we got to name them Jingle and Jangle, because that's what, that's what happens. That's what was happening. Well, Jingle and Jangle they lived there, and their daddy was a fisherman. And the fishing was getting worse and worse. I guess there was a lot of pollution coming into the water. They lived near a big town, and in this town they had a lot of factories. There was a big coal factory to create electricity, and they were dumping a lot of things into the water. And the poor fish were dying all over. The fish were dying. And so Daddy came to the family, look, I am sorry, kids, but I have to go off in the boat very far away, because here we can catch no more fish. All the fish in the local area are gone. They're finished. What am I going to do? I have to go very far, far away. Okay, Daddy, but please come back. Oh, Daddy, please be safe. And they all came over and hugged Pablo, the daddy. And their mommy, whose name was Jenitta, Graciela said, my darling, we'll be okay. Just be safe. Just please be safe. You see, Graciela had a problem. When she was born, she had one leg smaller than the other leg. And so she couldn't walk very well. She always had to sort of limp on a stick like this, But she was fine, and to make money, she would stay at home and sew clothing, make clothing for the people in the town. But she couldn't take it to the town. Pablo had to drive their old truck into town to sell their clothes. But he had to go off now. And so, bye-bye, kids. I'll be okay. See you. Mwah, 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 mwah. Well, a week went by. He didn't come home. 2 weeks went by. He didn't come home. Oh, my gosh. Where's Daddy? Daddy, where are you? And every day they would go to the edge of the ocean and they would look out. Hey, I think I see a boat. No. And they asked all the other fishermen if they had heard of the boat. And they said, well, there was a big storm last week, so we hope We hope he's okay. He's a great sailor. He's a great fisherman. Let's hope for the best." 3 weeks went by, and Pablo did not come back. And all the money that they had run out. They had no more money. And since Graciela couldn't walk because she had this bad leg, hi, how you doing? She couldn't go into town to sell her clothing, and they made a family decision. They decided that the little kids, Jingle and Jangle and Jenitta, they had to go into town and try to get some money. So they
Wait, is Jenitta the oldest?
What's that?
Is Jenitta the oldest?
Yeah, Jenitta was 15. One of the kids asked how old was Jenitta. Jenitta is 15, and Jingle and Jangle were only 10. And they decided they better go into town and try to get some money, and the town was a long ways away. It was like, I told you, they had to drive there, and of course the kids can't drive. They're not old enough to drive. So they had to walk into town, a long ways into town. And to tell you the truth, it was a very hot day. In Guatemala, her mommy made these beautiful clothing. You know, I don't know if you've ever seen these beautiful reds and greens and blues, all these bright colored clothing that they wear in Guatemala. She was perfect. So they had on their back some of the clothing that their mommy had they needed to sell into town. And they went out to the road like this and waved, and another truck was coming along. Stopped. "Come on, kids, hop into the back." Okay. They climb into the back of the truck. "Where are you going, kids?" We're going into the town to sell some clothes for my mommy." "Okay, come on, I'm going to town too." So they didn't have to walk all the way to town. They got lucky. They got a ride. They were so happy to get into town. But the town was very, very dirty. It wasn't like being out in their little village. And the boys said, "We got to go find a job." And they looked all around. They knocked on the door of the doctor's office. "Can we help you, doctor?" "No, you're too young." "Can we help you people?" "No, I hear there's some jobs in the coal factory, but you're 10 years old. You're not supposed to work there, but I hear that they're still hiring kids out there." "Well, I don't know." Jingle looked at Jangle. "That's not for us." And then there was only one job open in the town. Only one job left. That was at the butcher shop. You know what a butcher shop is? That's where they cut the meat. They cut the meat. But you see, Jingle and Jangle and the fisherman's family, they were what you call pescatarians. They didn't eat animals at all because they couldn't bear to kill their chickens, and they couldn't bear to their cows were their friend. They gave them milk. We can't eat meat. And so they didn't ever. And so the boys said, "No, we're not going to work in a butcher shop because we don't believe in eating meat." So what are they going to do, the boys? Meanwhile, their sister Jenitta found a job. She was going to be. Well, first of all, let me tell you this. She tried to sell her mommy's dresses. She went to the general store. "Mister, my mommy always sells her dresses here. Can you please take? They're beautiful, see? You know you buy them before." Well, the mister said, "Hey, you know, kids, I used to sell your mommy's stuff, right? And they're good. But right now, nobody has any money. Nobody can buy anything. So I cannot take him. Oh, please, mister, we don't, my daddy got off into the water and we don't know if he's coming back, my daddy. Will you please come on, just take these clothing so I can, Mom, she needs so I can even eat. I don't know. Okay, don't cry. I'll see if someone will buy the clothing. Don't you worry. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, said Jenitta. But listen, I need a job too. You know anybody that has any work? Well, I hear there's a family up and down the road there. They want to have somebody clean. Are you good at cleaning things? Yeah, I can do anything, really. I clean everything at home. I even clean the chicken. What? You clean the chicken? Yeah, I do. I brush the feathers every day so they give us more beautiful eggs. Really? I needed some eggs, he said, for Easter. Did you guys have any Easter egg hunt on Easter? No, we can't afford that. We don't have enough, we have to eat whatever eggs they have. It's about the only food we have because we don't get fish anymore. We don't eat meat. We've got a few carrots in the garden. That's about it. Oh, okay. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. Go down the street. You'll see this beautiful, huge, white mansion house. You knock on the door and tell them you want to clean for them. She went down to the door, but guess what? There was a whole line of kids and even some women standing in line waiting for that job. Because it was such difficult times, nobody had any money. Everybody was looking for a job. And she got at the end of the line and waited. And Jingle and Jangle came up and said, hey, sis, what are you doing? Well, she said, I think I can get a job here, but look at all these other people. How am I ever going to do this? She's going to hire somebody before I even can get up to the door. Oh, don't you worry, said Jingle and Jangle. We'll make it easy for you. So Jingle and Jangle went to the front of the line, and they had found a little skunk that they had put into a little bag. Now, usually a skunk, would put out a stink. I don't know if you've ever smelled a stinky skunk. But you don't want to be around when the stinky thing lifts its tail and lets all that stinky stuff shoot out. But these kids, Jingle and Jangle, had such a wonderful way with animals that animals understood them and they loved them. Even though they didn't have to say anything. They just had this sort of like air about them because they didn't eat meat, they didn't eat animals, so animals weren't afraid of them. And so the skunk agreed to get into the bag. And so they went up to the front of the line and they took the bag and they scooted the skunk, who walked out to the front of the line. A skunk! Everybody said, no, a skunk! And everybody that was in the line ran away. And that allowed Jenitta to be the very next person to go inside the house. And meanwhile, the skunk ran off into the woods, no problem. But he had done his job. He didn't even have to lift his tail. Just looking at the skunk scared everyone away. She went inside the house. And in the house, it was a beautiful house. There was a golden chandelier, and there was beautiful vases and beautiful flowers and rich colored things hanging from the wall and very thick, soft rugs on the ground. And there was a little old lady sitting in a chair with her 2 servants behind her. Oh, so you must be the next candidate, right? What is your name? My name's Jenitta, and I'm a really good cleaner, and I can do whatever you want, and I'm really be good at it. Well, Jenitta, have you ever had a job before? You had to be here exactly at 9 o'clock every morning, and exactly Well, there is no exactly leaving time because you might have to stay late every day. Whatever, please, ma'am, whatever, Mrs., please, can you let me come and work for you? Well, come a little closer, my dear. Come a little closer. Oh, you have such beautiful red hair, my dear. How did you manage to have such beautiful red hair, my dear? Well, I don't know. Genius said I was born with it, and yeah, I'll be happy to come and work with you. Well, okay, my dear. Just be sure you're here exactly at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, because I've got some special surprises for you. And I know you have your brothers outside waiting, Jingle and Jangle. How did you know my brother's names? We never saw you before. Well, my dear, there's lots of things that I know. But don't you worry, just tomorrow, don't come with the brothers, okay? Yes, ma'am. Whatever you say, I'll be good, I promise. I'll be a great cleaner. Okay, my dear. Bye-bye. We'll give you the job because you have such beautiful red hair, and I just happen to need for one of my spells. I have to have some special red hair for something I'm making. You wouldn't mind if I just take a little snip of it now, would you? Well, okay, if that's what it takes. So the witch, the old lady, who is really a witch, if you haven't figured it out by now, the old lady came over to Jenitta and took out just one of her hairs. This is all I need for now, my dearest. But you come tomorrow. And do you have any clothing from your mother? Well, yes, my mother makes beautiful clothing. Okay, I'll buy one of those clothings if you bring it tomorrow. Well, Jenitta was so happy. She ran outside to her brothers. Hey, guess what? I got a job. I'll be back here tomorrow morning at 9. Well, that's great. We'll bring you in, they said. But no. She says, I cannot come with you. Okay, no problem. But we better get home to Mommy because we don't have any money. We can't go home without food, without money. How are we going to get some money? Oh, you're right. What are we going to do? And the boys, just at that moment, when they looked down on the ground, right in front of the door of that house, all of a sudden, they saw some money. They found 100, just like it had arrived out of nowhere by magic. So they grabbed the money, they went to the store, they bought some food, and they came out of the store and were going to go all the way home. But meanwhile, the witch was inside the house. They found that money. I knew I could get rid of them. But you just wait till that girl comes back tomorrow, because I've got a surprise for her, and I need her red hair. Not one piece of it. I tested it. This is the perfect red hair that I need. You just wait tomorrow, and I'm going to cut it all off. Well, I guess, guys, we're going to end the story there. You guess you're going to have to see...
Yeah, because that's the baddest part, and I don't want to do the rest right now.
No, you're going to have to wait till tomorrow, Wednesday.
Yeah, so I said it's good that you keep it like that, because that part is the baddest part, because he's going to cut up her whole hair, and that's a bad part.
That's right.
But I think I know what's going to happen.
So-
I know what's going to happen.
Just hold on. So for all you that are watching, we're going to do the next episode of the story, The Fisherman's Family, on Wednesday. New York time is 10:30 in the morning. Wherever you are around the world, we're going to do another live on Facebook, same place. And please go to my YouTube channel to look at my other stories. And if you missed part of this one, it's all there. YouTube at This is Amertat is my channel. So I'm going to sign off. Bye, everybody. See you on Wednesday.